Hi, yeah, you're welcome to Bulbling 247. This is another episode. My name is Tony Labonde. I still remember your host. Today, I'll be having conversation with Anjolaoluwa Ajayi, who is the founder of a disruptive technology platform, which is ACAD AI. So, ACAD AI is an AI-powered exam platform that can grade theory questions. So, Anjolaoluwa, it's good to meet you. How are you doing today?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Tomilola. I'm very well today. Thank you.
It's finally we're having this conversation. I mean, after weeks of back and forth, network issues, a bit of illness, but thank God that you're back and better now. And I know that I can see that your energy is not off the roof yet, but I know that you're in a good place to have this conversation with me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to an engaging conversation with you. So I would want to. By the way, congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you very much.
How was the experience like?
The graduation experience or the entire university
The
experience?
entire university experience. Let's start
Oh,
from there.
I mean, that was practically what gave birth to my startup, ACAD AI, but we'll get there.
We'll
The
get
entire
there.
university experience was what it was supposed to be. I can say confidently that university passed through me. I came out as the second best graduating student
Ooh,
in my school of
ooh,
computing. That's out of 1,000 students. So that's just bragging rights. So
wow,
yeah, so combine that to building my startup. I was also the course representative of my department.
wow.
So yeah, was pretty close to practically all my lecturers and most of my course mates. And yeah, it was stressful, but it was definitely worth it. Came out as a woman.
Wow. I mean, that's great. We'll still get back to there, but there is this. I've read a couple of your articles. You know, I went to your platform, your blog, your Medium account. I see that you have over 2,000 followers. That's over
Yeah,
2,000 readers. That's impressive. And
thank
the
you.
quality of the content you have on those platforms, I mean, they are amazing. But there is this
Thank
post
you.
that you made. I think it was on your LinkedIn. I like it, and I have a lot of questions about it. We'll start from
Oh,
there. You said I
okay.
already had my life planned out before graduating from high school. I was going to attend Bangkok University, major in computer science, take on all the jobs in the world, and finally become a billionaire at 25. How's that journey going for you?
Oh wow. I even thought you were talking about my I don't even know. I have 2 million blogs.
Oh, okay.
I didn't expect that angle. I didn't expect that
Let's start
angle.
from there.
I wrote that years ago.
Okay.
Well, that's actually going surprisingly, that's going according to plan and that's going
Interesting.
according to plan. Like I'm currently 19 years old
Oh,
and I've worked multiple jobs because I've been doing freelancing on Upwork since the moment I entered university.
okay.
I became a top rated freelancer on Upwork before I settled on my current part time job with a UK company, a data analytics firm in the UK. It's called VD Corp. So after doing freelancing for years, I finally settled on that. That was just when I was about 18. And then now I'm 19, I decided to found my own group. So now I founded my startup and our progress has actually been very, very encouraging. So yeah. So apart from my side jobs, my freelancing and things like that, you mentioned my Medium account
Yeah.
that has over 2,000 readers or followers rather.
Yeah.
But that's just the followers. On average, last month or last 2 months, my most viral article had reached about 35,000
Wow.
reads. Exactly. So, like, that has been bringing in a lot of passive income for me because
That's
I do not have the
impressive.
chance to read, I mean, to write all the time.
Yeah.
But whenever I get the chance to, I just put my thoughts out there. And it keeps on bringing in revenue for me every month. So, yeah. So, that's something, those are the things I'm doing, following my passion because I've always loved writing. And then I also took interest in data science and AI. So yeah, I'm mixing my passions basically in my job at Vili Corp, in my startup at Acadai, on my Medium publication. I'm basically nailing it and I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm actually also proud of you. I want you to elaborate on the bits where you stated that that Medium account is making a passive income for you. Is it that you write? Is it that the Medium platform pays you, or you also write from other platforms and you get paid for that?
Oh, the Medium platform pays me like as
Re-
people read my
I
articles.
never knew.
Oh, it happens. You have to be a Medium member. Like you have to pay for the Medium membership, and that's just like 1,790
Interesting.
naira.
Oh,
So that's
only.
yeah, every month. Yeah, that's it. And then if as people read your articles, you're getting paid as they read it. So as paid members read your articles, you're getting paid.
Oh, okay.
So my article that reached 35,000 readers, you can imagine how much that gave me.
How
And
much?
that's one article.
How much?
$300
Are you
for one
serious?
article. Yeah.
I to be honest, this is this is another insight. I never knew. I to be honest, I didn't know. To be honest, I
Well,
have a medium.
that's it.
I have a Medium account. I write, but
Oh, you
for a long,
do?
yeah, I do. I mean, I've been writing
Okay.
for let's say 16 years now. I but I abandoned it, and just because I have different blogs for different purposes and all of that, and then for me, I write for fun anyway. I write what comes to my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
I write what comes to my mind. So, but in your part, I see that you're well structured. You know that, okay, data, you write a lot of on data analytics, data science, and the work that you do. Yeah, I mean, just for you to know that I read even even though I'm not a data scientist, but I read some of your articles, and I really love the way you write. I mean,
Thank you so
your
much.
writing style is so flowery, like
Thank you.
smooth, and how you put those words together. It's amazing. To be honest, it's
Thank
amazing.
you.
But by the way, thank you for this insight. Maybe I'll just go back to pick up my Medium account.
Yeah, you should. The thing is, they actually like recently just brought it to Nigeria, or not
Okay,
recently, about a year ago. It wasn't available in Africa for the
really?
longest time.
Wow.
Yeah, but they
I mean, this
recently.
is one of the challenges that we faced. How they,
Yeah,
just cut off the continent and our country out of benefiting from some of these goodies. But then anyway,
yeah.
it's good that they've brought it back, and I can tell you, I can bet that a lot of people don't know this. A lot
There-
of people don't know this, but this must be one of those kept secrets, and you guys are balling and enjoying some.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, right? Well, that's just by the way. Thank you for the insight. So let's
Yeah.
dive straight into you conversation about your innovation, about the platform that you're building at the moment, and I would
Okay.
love to know how what actually give birth to this innovation? What give birth to ACAD AI?
Okay. I mentioned before that during my university
Yeah,
days, I was the course representative of my department. So I had witnessed the problem firsthand, both from the lecturer side and from the student side. So the problem Academia solves, let me explain that and then
would love
bring it
to
back.
hear. Yeah,
Okay, so in many Nigerian and African universities, it happens all the time. People fail courses or carry over courses, not because they actually failed the exams, but because of errors from manual marking,
yeah,
manual score computation, and sometimes paper records even going missing. That's because teachers are usually assigned to hundreds of students and put under pressure to deliver results on
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So when that happens, a lot of things could happen. There could be mistakes, their energy level could even affect the quality of the results. Many things, many factors come into play. And I've witnessed it firsthand because, I was the course rep, I was close to my lecturers. So I used to see them complain and I even used to help them sometimes for the lower levels. Like I would help them grade some papers for the lower levels. So yeah, so I witnessed this personally. I saw my lecturers literally struggle, spending days marking. They would sacrifice their holidays. They would sacrifice the time they are supposed to spend with their family. They would stay up till 2 a.m. And that's even just university lecturers. When I was in secondary school, my lecturers used to complain about how there are so many papers to mark for examination bodies like WAEC, NECO, and the likes, and they would have to like sit down and mark, and they would be put under pressure, deadlines, and things like that. So yeah, it was the system wasn't paying anybody basically. It
yeah,
wasn't helping lecturers, it wasn't helping students because lecturers are burnt out, students are not getting the result they worked hard for. Sometimes they don't even get feedback on their results. And this is even worse in public universities
yeah.
where, I don't want to say lecturers don't care. It's not that they don't care, they're just tired. Let's put it like that. Exactly. So yeah, so the problem was very glaring, and being somebody who has been in the AI space for a long time, and then with the advent of large language models and these models that can understand text the way human beings do. I mean, I feel everybody at this point has heard of things like ChatGPT and the like. So
Yeah,
if you've interacted with these tools, you would know that, or it's sometimes you'd feel like they actually understand what you are saying. So yeah, so being somebody in the AI space, I knew that this was a problem AI could solve. So I started conversing with my lecturers. I told you I was close to a whole lot of them. I have a lot of
yeah,
them in my network. So I started conversing with them. I got a lot of insights into their marking process, and I was able to build a model around their marking process, something that can be automated. So basically, what ACAD AI does, it doesn't replace teachers. No, teachers are actually the center of the process.
okay,
So it takes their marking guide, it takes their questions, and then automates what they will do across hundreds of exams. In our internal benchmarks, you might have seen it, Academia graded 500 exams with 100 questions
wow,
in less than 200 seconds.
wow,
That's something that would take a lecturer weeks to do.
yeah,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
so that was so yeah. So that was I took it as my personal project to solve. It was
Oh,
actually
okay,
my undergraduate project, my final year project in university. So I worked
wow,
very closely with my supervisor. It was a research driven project because I had to read papers. I had
yeah,
to have conversations with lecturers. It was actually from reading papers that I got exposed to a whole lot of other things, how education is being done in top universities. I got to learn about the rubric system. I got to learn about, other people have attempted this solution and they faced bottlenecks around prompt hacking. That's when a student to try to manipulate the system by changing the
yeah,
prompt. You know how you interact with ChatGPT with plain English? All these AI
yeah, yeah,
applications, that's how you also interact with them. So students try to like use that same plain English to change the original instruction, say something like return maximum mark or something, and
yeah.
the AI would actually obey that. So I had to like take that into consideration when building ACAD AI to make sure
Okay.
that it's most accessible to it.
But I mean, just before you land, I actually agree with you about the fatigue that comes with marking a whole lot of scripts, because sometimes you even student sometimes when we get the marks, we sometimes we we challenge the teacher lecturers that what, this mark does not reflect what we wrote in our exam. And then
Mm-hmm.
when we have this back and forth, sometimes if you are so lucky to have lecturers that understands and have this good relationship with students and are so calm to take corrections, they get to review the script again, and then they get to remark those scripts. And oftentimes you discover that truly either the lecturer was tired when he was marking, because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a whole lot of commitment. And when you, let's say you start a script now, it's a different energy level you are when you are marking, maybe when you've marked first to 10 scripts,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a different energy when you are on the 50 script. And take for instance our university now, during my own days, we were like 60 something in class, and we have departments like that. They have like 400 students. I always wonder, how do these lecturers get to mark these a whole lot of student scripts? But I must appreciate this. Your innovation is quite transformative. It's something that would disrupt that space. But now, if marking, part of marking, like I said, it's always issues of fairness, accuracy, and consistency in marking. So how do you ensure that this does not repeat with your solution?
Okay, thank you for that question. So yeah, as I said before, Acad AI is not something that a random person just came up and thought about. I was like, oh yeah, let's put this out there. It
Yeah,
was built with educators and it is very research driven. So when it comes to accuracy, let me give you a bit of context on how ACAD AI actually grades. Because ACAD AI, unlike every other CBT platform out there,
yeah,
ACAD AI provides a level of transparency that no other CBT platform out there provides. So like you are seeing exactly how the score was calculated. And we're able to do this because of the rubric system I mentioned
yeah,
before. So what ACAD AI does, we're not just like throwing a prompt at it. Take this answer, take this question, provide a score based on the marking guide. No, that's not what we're doing.
Okay.
We're giving it the question, the marking guide, the student answers, and a set of criteria to look out for. So those criteria make up the rubric system. And those criteria are basically everything that defines what a correct answer is. So what ACAD AI is doing, it is not generating a score. It is telling you whether each of those criteria was met or not,
I mean,
and
do you
then
mind? Do
telling
you
you,
mind to maybe elaborate on this criteria? Let's take for example, during when you were building, like, what were the criteria you give the system to mark with?
okay, so in the next version of ACAD AI, the criteria is actually going to be provided by the teacher,
Okay.
but they could also generate it. So there's going to be like different criteria for different questions. But for
Okay.
this for the MVP that we already have out there, we try to like keep things as simple as possible because we understand that this is not something most African lecturers and teachers are probably used to. So we
Yeah.
had to put something that really generalizes to most questions. So the criteria that we included in the rubric, things like how well does it relate or how similar is it to the marking guide, like the
Okay.
correct answer. So that's what it is checking for. Okay, is it similar to the marking guide?
Okay.
Is it coherent? Does it not contain any irrelevant or inaccurate points? Because if you are like saying something, if you are just like putting stuffing in words or stuffing in keywords, or you're like just trying guessing and things like that, putting in guesses just to like try your luck with the system, it
Yeah.
actually would backfire because it's part of the criteria that you do not include anything that is inaccurate and your points are coherent and consistent. And then another thing we check for is the relevance to the question because
Okay.
they might ask a question and you might just be like putting in answers that do not actually answer the question but are maybe related. So if you do not actually answer the question, that's also part of the criteria the system looks for. So
Okay.
it's basically checking, does this answer is this answer, I'm just using one criteria for example,
Yeah.
is this answer similar to the model answer, to the correct answer provided? If it is, how well is it, like how similar is it? So it provides those two scores, and then we now have our custom algorithm that combines all the scores for all the criteria and then gives you the final score for that student. So it's a lot of computation on the back end actually,
Oh.
because you're getting the first score that tells you whether the criteria was met or not. In our system, we call it the binary score.
Okay.
And then the other score that tells you how well the criteria was met, that's the confidence score. So we
Okay.
get the binary score and confidence score for all the criteria and then combine them using our confident binary algorithm. We're actually writing a research paper on this, so it's going to be out very soon. So yeah,
Oh,
so we combine it using the confident binary scoring algorithm to get the final score for that student's answer,
students.
just
Okay.
one answer to one
Okay.
question, and we replicate that across hundreds of answers or questions and across hundreds of students. So that's what our system does on the back end. So it basically automates what the teacher would have to do because if the teacher is marking, what is it doing? Reading through, okay, this answer is
Yeah.
close enough to my. So that's what our system does basically. It's just helping out the teacher. And even in our system, we understand the importance of responsible AI. So
Yeah.
we still make the teachers accountable. So we are not like, we don't have the final say. The teacher can still go there and change the score. It's still up to the teacher
Yeah.
because somebody has to be responsible for the
I mean, that
grades.
was actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask. When I listened to you speaking, and I kind of think about, well, how do you balance automation? I mean, with the nuanced judgment of educators. I mean, and I think you've been able to provide a bit of a context to that. And again, one of my questions is, what happens at the back end, right? And you've already provided answers to that about the fact that there is a binary score, confidence score, and all of that. So, but one of the challenge I would maybe people would have is the total dependency of educators on this system. Do you see that as a challenge, or do you think that no, it's actually a progress because it's a progress to solving some of these challenges that we've already highlighted? What do you think about this?
I actually agree with you. I mean, it's already happening with other AI solutions.
Yeah,
So people are already over relying on these things, and
yeah,
that has a negative effect. So we've actually like considered this. The point of ACAD AI, we always emphasize it that it's not to replace teachers but to assist them.
yeah,
And we always encourage them to review the scores. And we make that easy for them. When the scores are released, they are always color coded in the system. So like by just like scrolling through, you can see the ones that maybe performed bad because they would be highlighted in red, and you can see
yeah.
the ones that performed well because they would be highlighted in green, and you can see the ones that performed averagely because they would be highlighted in yellow. So
Okay.
we have that in our system. So maybe to make things easier, because the point is to avoid people failing unfairly.
Yeah,
So maybe if you are going through and you see somebody's results highlighted in red, you can review only the ones that are red. So that
yeah,
saves you time. So if you have 500 exams to review, you can only review the ones that are in red to see that, oh, why did this person fail?
yeah,
So, and we'll not, along the line in our next version, because obviously it's just an MVP that is out now to
yeah.
get feedback and things like that. In our next version, we would also provide more analytics insights.
Okay.
So that will help in, okay, the student who has been performing poorly ever since, out of nowhere performs very well in this exam, you would get that insight and you can also review. You would see all the students who had like drastically improved
Yeah.
based on when compared to the last exam. You can review those. Maybe the system made a mistake because
Oh,
there's
okay.
usually consistency in performance. I mean, people could actually like read hard and do better, but these are just anomalies that we bring.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to ask about that anomalies because yeah, it's a system, right? I mean, if you look at recently what happened with Jump, was it in May? Was it in May or earlier this year? I would
This
say
year.
when this year when they released the results and they were complaints about some
Yeah.
anomalies. People actually said this is the result does not reflect, the answers they provided during their examinations. And though Jamba rejected and denied that, but they went back to look critically into the system and discovered that, oh, there are anomalies and there's some glitches, behind their system that they had to, come back to tell people to schedule another exam, make up examination for quite some numbers of students. Same thing also, I think, was it on WAEC a few days ago? Yes, a few days ago, I was reading one of these examination platform who also came out to state that they have the same issue. So how do you, in all of this, trusting on system, how do you hope that your system doesn't, have this experience?
Well, to ensure that this kind of thing never happens, we've
Yeah,
put in place a whole lot of measures, especially when it comes to our infrastructure and our logic.
yeah.
So it has been like tested multiple times. Before we put our system out to the public, it went through beta testing too. Now our system has been used for various exams. Was it not in June? Our system was used for a postgraduate exam at Babcock
Oh,
University.
great.
So our system has actually been used in a lot of places, and we've not had any complaints. Let me put it
Complete.
that way,
Okay.
because we're using like very solid infrastructure, Google
Yeah.
Cloud technologies, and things like that. So yeah, our infrastructure is very solid. Our logic has been tested multiple times, and it has been used for multiple real world exams, real people, and then we didn't have
Oh,
any issues or
any
anything like
issues?
that.
I mean,
So
that's good to know. Your system, your innovation is something that requires a whole lot of partnerships. Right.
yeah,
You need to get most especially if you want it to be adopted at the high level. I mean, let's say for example, universities. You would of course need the partnership of maybe like university commissions, different agencies and parastatals. To adopt your system. How do you hope to go about this partnership? Because yeah, let me leave it at that first. I'll go back to other questions. So let me hear from you.
yeah. So like recently, how we are going about the partnerships, because we just released our MVP. We've gotten a lot of feedback. We are
Yeah.
constantly improving the system. So the next step for us as a company, as you've rightly mentioned, is getting these partnerships.
Yeah.
So far, we've been able to get some partnerships that do not directly impact our solution, but also impact it in a way. Like partnerships with companies like SendPulse. That's
Oh,
an
okay.
automation
Samples.
company. Yeah, that's an automation company in the US.
Yeah.
We've gotten partnership with Perplexity AI. They've given us
Great.
like free access to their services.
Oh,
We've gotten
great.
partnership, or we are currently in the process of getting partnership with a coding school. That's
Okay.
Brainblocks Code School. So there's
Great.
that. So yeah, so now we are looking towards getting partnership with, the top guys, the NUC, the Minister
Yeah.
of Education,
Because those are the
and all of them.
users.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the people that can really enforce our solution and make
Yeah.
it the benchmark, make it the standard
Yeah.
for schools and universities across Nigeria and beyond. So yeah, so our approach to that, we're going to get a sheet. We're going to list out everybody we want to get partnerships with. We're going to list out our contact person, because
Yeah.
these organizations, they are usually handled by people, whether it's
Yeah.
the secretary, whether it's the minister, whether it's the director. Would get their names, would get their emails. If we can, would get their phone numbers, and we would try to reach out. We would also go to their offices. It's part of our plan to go to their
No.
offices, to prepare a proposal for them, to have conversations with them. If where we would find them is at events or things like that, we would also do that. And apart from our personal efforts, we're also like talking to our network. We plan
Yeah.
to talk to our network about it, to our parents. I mean, we're not kids anymore, but we are young people. And
I know. I know. Right. I know. Right. I know.
yeah, so our parents, friends, our
Yeah.
teacher,
Yeah.
our vice chancellor,
Yeah.
and everybody in our network. Basically, we plan to leverage our network,
On that.
and we plan to also do our own personal
Yeah.
outreach.
Yeah. I mean that's great. I mean I like the fact that you already have an insight into you have like a path that you want to really chart and you want to go through like okay, let's get this, let's get that. One of the things that I believe that might be a challenge is because of your solution and the core of it and the community that will serve. It's a community that is mostly built on trust, right? Bringing this solution to would people trust the system, even if those organizations trust the system? Would the teachers, even the parents of the students, would they trust the system? So how do you hope to go about building trust for your solution while you pitch to some of these people? Because even just to track back a bit, even these institutions, there are people that run it, and these are people with the mindset of say the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah,
These are some of
yeah,
these people. They still struggle with WhatsApp. They still call you to want to check, make some calls, or even it makes a you know where
yeah.
what I'm
I
driving at.
understand.
So
Yeah, I
it's
understand.
very important that you will need a whole lot of convincing, a whole lot of
Yeah, we
advocacy.
actually have our strategy for that, because
Okay.
we're, as a company, we
Yeah.
just launched about a month ago. So yeah,
Okay. Month
we're still
ago.
putting it, yeah, and we
Wow.
already have like a whole lot of traction. It's really
Yeah.
encouraging and overwhelming sometimes. But yeah, we have our strategy for our B2B
Hmm.
clients.
Clients.
For
Okay.
example, we have about 10 schools on our radar right now
Oh,
that we're
great.
actually having conversations with. And we understand that trust to be a big problem. So what we are
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
we are offering it to them for free for a semester. Just
Oh,
use it.
great.
Just use it, basically.
Wow.
Obviously, in a limited setting, maybe for a few departments or a few students, or
Yeah.
maybe for secondary schools that we're talking to for a class. So just use it for free for the whole semester.
Yeah.
No cost to you. And if you
So
like
from
it,
from okay, from your usage so far, you talked the other time you talked about feedback, that you've received feedback and you're hoping to implement this feedback in the next development. What have been the feedback that you received, and how are you hoping to implement that in what way? I would love you to maybe elaborate more about this, the feedback, and what are the features that we should be expecting on the platform in the next development.
okay, so the number one feedback that we actually received was the fact that teachers want to be able to upload the questions they've already set down, like
Okay.
questions
Okay.
they've already set in Microsoft Word. They want to be able to like upload it,
Okay.
and the system should just extract it. What our system currently does you upload your lesson notes, maybe like your slides or your PDFs, like your
Okay.
notes or your book, and then the system will generate questions for you. That's what our system currently does. You either go
Okay.
that way or you put in your questions manually, or you
Okay.
repeat an exam that you already created on our system before. So
Okay.
that's what our MVP has. But then our early users have requested that they want to be able to upload the questions they've already set outside,
Okay.
and then the system will just extract it.
I mean,
So
which is fair.
that's something we would add in the next version. We're already on it. And then another feedback is the custom rubrics I told you about.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
our system uses a generalized rubrics, but teachers want something. They want more
Personal
control.
customer. Yeah. One more control. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so that's something we're also adding to the next feature. And then our analytics too, because teachers need those insights.
Yeah.
Insights that help them tailor their curriculum, their lesson
Yeah.
plans and things like that. Maybe if they give an assessment and then they notice that there are specific topics that people didn't do well, they should be able to get that level of insights that
Yeah.
would shape the way they teach. So
Yeah. True.
analytics is something we are also planning to add.
True.
We've implemented a lot of feedback that we got from our beta users, and
Okay.
they are very minute. So I don't think I should go too deep into those
No.
things,
No.
but these are
I
the
believe
major
that
ones.
it's everyday progress. You know, as you're receiving feedback, you filter. But I believe that there are some feedback that you must have received that you couldn't implement yet.
Yeah, that those are the things I just like told you. But there were
Okay.
others that we've already implemented on the system. And even
Okay.
right now we are like revamping our landing page because we just realized that our landing page doesn't accurately represent us. Like we're so much more than what's there right now. It
Oh,
doesn't put
I
our
mean, you have to. I actually agree. You have a whole lot. I think you need to be intentional about the copies.
yeah, so
How you
that's
communicate your solution and what you want people to do. I think it's very important because
yeah.
it's at the moment it's so stuffed with so much information that you get lost in really getting the whole concept. But if not because I
Um,
dug deeper, just to then I went ahead to watch the video, your pitch video that you released on YouTube.
oh, I
Yes,
see.
yes, I watched it. That was where I kind of get the concept of what you're building. So yeah, bringing me back to now, I would love to know about what have been the challenges. Have you maybe structural challenges, or societal challenges, or even financial challenges that you face? What have been the challenges that you face so far, and how are you navigating that bit 1 month at it?
Well, we face a lot of challenges, honestly. Even with our developments, like
Yeah.
if with our developments, we face challenges in execution speed. We've had times when our system would break in the middle of the
Wow.
night and we'd wake up in the morning and we just have to like provide a very quick fix. But now we've been able to reach a stable version that
Oh,
doesn't have any
great.
bug. In fact, there was one time when we had just launched, like maybe like 2 days after we had launched, somebody tried to sign up. A teacher tried to sign up,
Okay.
and he got an error at sign up. It was so embarrassing. And then
Wow.
we dug into the error that, oh, what's the problem? Why couldn't you sign up? He sent us a screenshot of what of his
Yeah.
username
Yeah.
and password. He even showed us
Yeah.
his password, even though that's not even encouraged. But
Of course.
on
Data
looking at the
privacy.
password, exactly.
Yeah.
On looking at the password, we now realized that the problem was that the password was too common. The password was
Oh.
password. That was password. Password was like the word. And apparently, our system was checking for, because our backend is Django, is built with Django.
Okay.
That's like a framework. So that framework is
Yeah.
like very enterprise level, very professional. They already have a lot of things that you do not have to replicate yourself. So
Okay.
we weren't like looking out for passwords that were too common. That was not part of the exceptions that we are taking care of, to give
Okay.
the user a helpful feedback. So what the
Yeah.
teacher was saying is invalid password or something like that. A message that was not helpful because we weren't checking for common passwords. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just like an example of some of the technical challenges we've been facing and navigating. We've also like faced challenges with user during our beta testing. It wasn't all smooth because there were bottlenecks. There were
Okay.
bottlenecks in terms of like a teacher couldn't even find his way to create an exam. That
Yeah.
was like, what's the point of our system if you
Oh, I
can't
mean, what's
even
the point of the platform if
exactly,
you can't even get that one? That's the basic. That's the core of it.
exactly.
One of
Exactly.
it.
So,
Yeah.
so it was like a user experience issue. So he gave us
Yeah.
feedback, and we were able to like iterate on that. And now we called him back to try the system again. We didn't tell him
And it
anything,
worked.
just use it, and he was able to find his way. And we're like, okay, thank God. So we just needed the button just had to be more obvious.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is sometimes it's the little things that just disrupt everything.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
very little things, the very little things that we just so paying attention to detail. That's been very helpful. Basically, paying attention to detail. So that's on the technical side. Financially, we've been getting grants
Oh,
from a
great.
couple of
Wow.
places.
I
So
mean, that's the good news to to hear, because you're building something that is so solid, and you need a whole lot of financial backing, most especially even for the infrastructures.
yeah,
Let's leave it. I mean, as a founder, you will survive. You will survive. So so yeah, tell me more about that.
so yeah, so in grants related, we won a grant from Babcock University.
Oh, okay.
They gave us about 500,000 naira to just kickstart things, and then we
Okay.
also won a grant from Google Developer Group. That's
Oh,
also in
great.
Babcock University. So that was like a hackathon kind of thing, AI
Yeah,
for social good. And then our partner company that I mentioned, Send
yeah, yeah.
Pulse, they also gave us a grant, $5,000 worth of.
Fair enough.
So that's something we have in our bank account. So that is also helping us save costs.
Yeah.
And other things that we've applied for, they are not like monetary value, but
Okay.
credits for our cloud service providers, credits for our email
I mean,
automation.
that's very important.
Yeah, exactly. So like we are not paying for these things, we're just using the services, and that's helping us save costs. So that has also helped. We applied for, or we qualified to the final stage of a hackathon by Imagify. They're like an
Okay.
immigration company. The name of the hackathon was Uplift Hackathon. It was just like recently concluded. It was something I had to do even in my 6 states. We qualified to the
Wow.
finals, top three out of a whole lot of
Wow.
solutions.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But we did not go home with the final prize because they were only picking.
Eh,
Uh,
so nothing dropped in your account from that.
no, but
Oh,
it
I
was
mean,
good to
they
know
ought to.
that.
I mean, the visibility, I believe that would also help.
Yeah, the visibility to really helped, and the fact that the judges actually really liked our solution. It was very confusing, honestly. I had to reach out, or somebody from my team had to reach out afterwards, because before the final, like on the day of the final
Yeah.
show, they asked the judges, "Do you have any words for the finalists? Any tips for them?" They kept using ACAD AI as the reference. They said they
Ah,
really liked our pitch. They
and they
liked
didn't
the
give you
way
the
we
first,
started
and you
the
didn't
tool.
come up with any
I
price.
was
But
so
why?
confused.
But why?
I was so, then even after the final, after they had already picked the other solution as the winner,
Yeah.
they still kept saying, "I really like that ACAD AI solution. I
Come
really like
on. If you
that."
like it, why don't you give us the price? Why are you making us reference without money? What's the point?
I know, right? But it was encouraging to say the least. So
I mean that one thing is your solution has already registered in their minds. I mean,
yeah,
you can never tell. Maybe some of these guys will come back and say, you know what, I mean, this they have conversation with funders and VCs, and you can never tell. They might just chip in one of these conversations and say, and I saw this solution, it's very nice. They couldn't win this, but it's something worth placing bet on. And you can never
yeah,
tell what would come up tomorrow. But
yeah.
trust me, I'm rooting for you, and I know that
Yeah.
it's a greater part. I mean, you're building something. But what you have in your pocket now, it should be able to sustain you for a year, I guess, or
A
more than.
year. Well, yeah, actually, but we're still looking for more because we want to expand and we have
Expand.
a
So,
lot
what's
of
your
time.
revenue model like? And then, what's your plan for expansion? I mean, to what length?
Well, right now, what we are targeting, we're not dreaming small with
Oh,
Acad
shit,
AI.
great,
We're not playing small. So
nice.
we're actually like targeting being the CBT system that will be used for WIEC next
Oh,
year.
okay, that's
Because I
nice.
don't know if you saw the news, the federal government has mandated WIEC and NECO to be CBT just like JAM starting
Yeah, I
from
did.
next.
I saw the news. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is our target. what we are currently doing now, we are targeting universities and schools because we need them to build credibility. We need
Yeah.
this. If we're able to say that, oh, ACAD AI is being used at 20 schools
You
already,
need to build
it will help.
pivots that you can help your story, that can help your story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are working on that. And then we're also working on improving our system because right now our system can't grade math. It
Yeah.
can't grade long essays, just
Oh,
like
okay.
few answers, 250 words at max for
Oh,
the answer. So that's not enough for an essay.
it's not. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, so our system can't grade essays, and we're also looking at paper exams just in case WAEC is not yet, or just in case any school that we try to approach, because it's not just
Yeah.
about the money, it's actually about the impact. So we're also like looking at how our system can grade paper exams too, even if it's just for essays
Yeah.
at least a way to grade paper exams to make it more accessible to schools that don't have the facility. Because we are all about improving education. That's our mission.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're looking at these things. So yeah, so that's our plan basically. And these things require a lot of a lot of experiments, a lot of research, a lot of infrastructure,
Yeah.
and possibly even more hands, like more developer
Yeah. More
hands. Because right
developers.
now
Yeah.
we're a team of 12, with 7 developers on the team. We
Wow.
have a database administrator, a security expert, front end developers, back end developers, mobile developers, desktop application developers, and things like that basically. So we have 7 of them on the team, or
Okay.
7 in total, like 7 developers or tech people and things like that. We also have UI UX designers that help with the and things like that basically. But the team I need to expand to
Yeah.
be able to meet our goal of having a solution that is ready to use for WAEC by
Yeah.
next year. So yeah, so we obviously need more grants or more
So,
funds
for more
for
funds.
that.
Yeah. So, how do you hope to generate fund for sustainability, most especially importantly?
Well, right now we're trying to onboard schools because that's going to like bring in a lot of revenue. So
Yeah.
if we're able to like onboard a certain number of schools, say 5 to 10 before the year runs out, that would help a lot with revenue. And
True.
on related to that, we are working on partnerships with people who already have connections with these schools.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll give them a commission.
Oh,
Help
fair.
us onboard school and we give you a commission. So that's one way. And then we're also applying for grants. I have like 20 on my radar already. If we're
Okay.
able to get top finalists for Uplift Hackathon, God knows how many we could get to top finalists and even win. So we have 20. I've applied for a couple, MTN Accelerate,
Yeah.
and a couple of others like that. So yeah, I have a spreadsheet to actually manage these things. I think I'm a organization
I
freak. I
know
don't
you are. I think
know.
you. I think you are because in fact that I would from that I would just go to my next question. That I think you are because I've with everything that you're doing, it takes a whole lot of management. You have spreadsheet on schools that you want to onboard. You have spreadsheet
Yeah,
on
we have.
institutions that you want to engage. You have spreadsheet of challenges that you're trying to fix. So the grants that the grants that you want to apply. I know it takes. How are you? As a young founder,
Okay.
how are you managing this, even from the mindset perspective?
Well, one thing about me is I I understand. I feel I've gotten a lot of wisdom over the
Yeah.
years. Maybe it's because of the people I've surrounded myself with, or because I'm the third born in my family. I have older
Okay. Your further
siblings.
siblings.
So
Okay.
yeah, so maybe it's the wisdom I've gotten from them, or maybe just my experience in life. I don't know
Yeah.
really. I don't know what or how I am like this. I was speaking to somebody one day, and the person was like, "You are so exposed." That was the first time I had ever heard that, and
Oh,
that has really stuck with me. I'm actually very exposed. I'm very informed, and I am aware of that. I am aware of the kind of person I am, and I understand that okay, to achieve this, certain things have to be in place.
yeah.
I understand that my team is very important. I take care of my team.
Very
I
important.
prioritize them. I make them feel seen. I make them feel that they are contributing to something that is actually going to be big. And I lead with
Yeah.
vision because I know that they are looking up to me. Everybody,
Sure.
not everybody, but like everybody on my team. If I'm confused, the whole team is confused. So
Yeah.
I try to like as much as possible keep things organized and I also try to motivate them. I actually do my like routine checkup on my team members. I play with them, I laugh with them, I gift them sometimes. I mean, during our lunch, when we are just launched, I sent a bonus to everybody
Wow.
on we've launched.
You've
Take this
launched
one.
launching
Here.
bonus.
And we made it
Launching.
very fun actually. So on
Yeah.
ACAD AI, ACAD AI is an examination platform.
Yeah.
So we did a test,
Interesting.
and then your bonus is based on the test was about ACAD AI as a company,
Okay.
and your bonus is based on what you score. So it was
Mm.
right there on the call.
That you didn't.
I
Okay.
said- yeah, so I set up the test, I sent it to them, they did the test, they got their scores, and your score is equal to your bonus. It was really fun. It was really fun day. So yeah,
Wow.
my team, I really prioritized them.
Wow,
I
that I mean
prioritized
that's so good. It's so good to know, and it's also good to see what you're trying to build. I mean, most especially in team management, is very important because sometimes
yeah,
you can have the best of solutions, you can, but you just spoil it with team building, organizational structuring, organizations culture, most especially. So with
yeah.
Acadia, what kind of organization are you hoping to build?
Well, the kind of organization that actually prioritizes its people and is focused basically. We're not just rambling around. We actually have direction and focus. We have good relationship with our clients and even our online presence.
Yeah,
Our online presence is also very solid, and Academia, I hope or I dream and I believe Acad AI is going to be a multi-billion dollar company very, very soon.
very, very. How soon? How many years?
It
Let's put it
depends.
here. You want to be a
It
billionaire at
depends.
25, you're 19. So, yeah,
Well, so yeah, so I guess we can say it depends. It depends on a lot actually,
I know.
because Acad AI Acad AI doesn't just provide faster grading of theory.
Yeah,
On a mission to revolutionize education
yeah,
and make it, because I was at a talk show at Money Point about a month ago, 2 months ago, and the talk was about precision medicine.
yeah.
Precision medicine, in one sentence, is basically providing tailored medication based
Medication,
on
yeah,
your like, genotype and your
yeah.
genes and things like that.
Yeah,
So like
data, yeah,
it's exactly, so it's not just general Arthemed or one general
yeah,
drug from the pharmacy. It's actually like for you. So
yeah,
I'm looking at Academia beyond just a grading tool. I'm looking at it as something that would grow to be something that provides precision learning.
learning, okay.
So it's providing precision learning for students and improving education as a whole and making it very personalized
Mm.
using artificial intelligence, because that is a whole new world of possibility that
Yeah,
artificial intelligence brings to us.
yeah,
Being able to cater to every single student's needs, on a personal level. That's
yeah,
something human teachers can't do at scale. If you have
yeah,
maybe five students in your class, you'll be able to do that. But if you have 100 students, 200, 300 students, how you be able to provide personal learning to each and every single one of them?
yeah.
That's not going to be that you'd burn out basically. So
True.
yeah, so Academia is starting with the exam part of things. Okay, after every exam, students are getting personal feedback on every question. That's part of the package Academia provides, and that's just like the starting point. So yeah, so we're on a mission to actually like revolutionize education, starting from the exams point of view. So we're using exams to penetrate
So,
because that's
yeah,
like a pressing
that's
pain
the, yeah,
point.
that's the, yeah, that's
That's
yeah, it's very important. So what's the place of inclusivity in your solution? Are you hoping to be as inclusive as possible? Most especially, we have maybe the persons with disabilities, different levels of disabilities, lecturers, students with disabilities. Are you figuring out how to include these people in your system? I know that it's something that might be something down the line, right?
Oh yeah, it's actually part of our product plan for this
Okay.
quarter, like our
Oh, okay.
next version, because it was part of the feedback we received from our early users. So
Okay.
that inclusivity thing. So we are thinking of features on a feature that can read out the questions to people
Okay.
that would need that. And then also when it comes to our UI and our UX,
Yeah.
our colors are also like, very sensitive. Our colors are not so distracting. They are very calm.
Yeah, I can say
So
that. Yeah, yeah. True.
that's something we've
True
also
that.
put in place for the
True.
inclusivity thing. So we'll still do more research on that. It's part of our plan for this quarter. So yeah. So inclusivity is also a priority, definitely,
Yeah.
because I spoke about ACAD AI being accessible to even schools that don't have the facility for it. So
Yeah.
definitely inclusivity is part of the vision. So
Ah.
yeah.
Wow. Anjolaoluwa, it's been a good time with you. I must say. I mean, that's 15 minutes so far. Yeah, that's yeah, almost one hour. I mean, but just before I let you go, I believe that there's some questions I might not have asked that maybe you might want to, you are interested to maybe talk about. Maybe so, it might be about your solution, it might be about your person, it might be about the dream for ACAD AI, and it might be about some of the other challenges that you're facing at the moment, and you're hoping that as you navigate that, or you're navigating that, or you want insight to how to navigate that. Then, most importantly, it might be about how, say, an investor get to see this conversation. How best do you think that they can support your dream? They can support what you're building. So, yeah, let me hear from you.
Okay, so if anybody who can help sees this video, there are many ways to support us. Funding is one of them, definitely, but
Yeah,
then even helping us get access to our target market. That's like the Minister of Education, even decision makers at universities or schools, helping us get access to that market basically, or giving us the visibility that
yeah,
would make those people notice us and give us a chance. So yeah, those two is basically funding and the connections.
yeah,
That will go a long way.
yeah. Angela Lua, uh, I guess we call it a day on this for this conversation. One thing is we still come back to have this conversation, but at that point, we'll look at the growth. We look at the growth so far. Maybe in the next 1 year, we'll get to have this. We revisit this conversation. We'll just look at the growth so far, the impact you would have made at that time, and then I believe that you would have had by that time you would have maybe some millions, billions in your account so far, and you'll be ready to part with Bubbly 247. Say, you know what, guys? Thank you for the conversations that we had at that time, and yeah, I must say that from Bubbling 247, we would be on the lookout. We would follow up with what you're building, and however best we can get to support you, we would offer that, most especially through our platforms. And then one of the other things that aside from the podcast, then the media platform that we're building too. One of it is also community. Community where we co-create events, we co-create hackathons. We both it's globally, right? And when we have our partners who content distribution partners who some of the conversations that we have on this platform, we don't just end as true on our own platform, right? We also get to distribute maybe as news story on their own platform, which create more visibility and awareness for what you're building, and for people to get to know, maybe then they get to see how best they can support you. So Angela Lua, we are rooting for you at Bubbling 247,
Thank you.
and we would always
Thank you
check
so
back
much.
to see what you're building, to see the progress that you've made, and then how best we can support. We continue to offer you. It's a promise from us, to you. So yeah, one
Thank you
of
so
the other
much.
things when we bring people for conversations, they also get to nominate maybe one or two persons that they think that, oh, they are building something in their corners, and you think that they should, they are what the solution their solutions are worth being spotlighted, and they have quite an insight and to share about the what they're building. So yeah,
So I guess this is the call for me to recommend somebody.
yeah, you can reach out to
And I
them,
have,
tell them, let them know that, oh, you are recommending them for this, for to have conversation with, and then to have conversation about what they're building here. Then we follow up.
okay, okay, okay. So I actually have a couple of people in my space that are building
That's
things.
fine.
So I don't know who to recommend.
Yeah, it's at your,
Can I recommend all of them?
how many of them?
Well, they're and do they have to like already have their MVP out?
It's the story is it will be sweet when they have something to show that, right? Yeah,
True.
yeah. So that is where I mean, you have to, let's see, you have to have your MVP out so that we can know how best to tell the story. There's something to show, right? There's something
Yeah.
to show, yeah. Not just beyond, it's beyond the idea. You have built something, you've built something, then we can, get to tell that story, and whoever now gets to support, they get to support. At least you have something to show, something
Okay.
on the ground to show, yeah.
Okay. So I think I would recommend, there are a couple of people in my space. So my friend Emanuela, she's building Rodney. That's a study app for people,
Great.
for for people like who have this special needs, who have special
Yeah. Oh,
needs.
special. Oh, great. Wow.
Yeah. And then there's also Angela, that's my namesake.
Angela. Wow.
Yeah. She's building Careerly. So
Okay.
Careerly is like a tool that helps you like sharpen your resume, make it
Oh, okay.
ATS
Oh,
ready,
great.
and helps you get
No
job.
problem. So we would take the conversation. After this conversation, we take it forward so you can have conversation with them. Then we bring them for conversation on this platform. So, Anjolaoluwa, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
for this
much for
conversation.
having
Thank you
me.
for bringing your voice to the table. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was such
Yeah,
a pleasure. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome. So, guys, that's the end of this episode of Bubbling 247.
Bye.
But before I let you go, guys, please follow us across our platforms and engage us across our platform. See you on the next episode. Keep bubbling. Thank you.